Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. Huge throwback on my channel to this this ottoman that used to be like the backdrop of like me unboxing iPhones and shit at the very beginning of my channel. Oh, crazy. Yeah, I still have this thing. I use it every day. Target ottoman. It's not fast fashion if you use it forever, right? Okay, this might be silly. I mean, it is silly, probably. I've decided to start a series of my physical media collection. Did I say the thing? Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. I can't remember if I said that or not. But hello, welcome. This is probably going to be like a 5-part series because what I'm thinking is, in order to show you my physical media collection, which for me is going to be like everything except books. So we're talking CDs, DVDs, records, cassette tapes, VHS. So there's going to be, and the DVDs I think are going to need to be in 2 parts because there's DVDs, the binders, which is this video, and then there's DVDs that still live in their cases. In my case, there's not necessarily a rhyme or reason to why some of my DVDs are in these cases, or in these like folders, binders, and why some of them are in the original cases. Most of the time the reason for that is because after the tornado, in order to save my DVDs, I had to just take the discs out of the cases because the cases were totally waterlogged and the artwork was destroyed, so there was just no point. So after the tornado, I bought these 2 binders, again, at Target, at like the same time I would have got this ottoman too, actually. So this one, you'll see in a minute, holds twice as much. But anyway, most of my DVDs are in binders. I would say like a good 2/3. So I'm just going to go through and flip through my physical media with you guys, and this is one area of my life that I tend not to declutter very much because I like physical media. Thankfully, I never did the whole get rid of it all because you can stream everything vibe, because yeah, thankfully I never did that. Because now we're all finding out that you can't stream everything forever, right? Okay, let's get into it. This one is going to be very easy. This is The Office. That's the only thing that's in this binder. It is all but the last season. I have up through season 8. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's leaving. I think it's leaving. Okay. All right. It's so weird when sneezes don't happen. So I do still plan to get the 9th season, although once that happens, that's gonna bother me because I'm not gonna be able to fit it in this binder. But this is my Office collection. This is one of my favorite shows. This is very much a comfort show to me that I rewatch pretty often. And it happened to fit in this binder, so that's where it is. That's where it lives. Next, so I'm going to show you the easy ones first. This is my, ooh, sorry, that was probably loud. This is my extra copy of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I accidentally have 2 copies. I didn't mean to do that, but because it's my favorite show of all time, I'm just allowing myself to have 2 copies because in my mind it's like, okay, well, this is the one that I could lend to someone in my life. If someone were like, I really want to watch the entirety of Buffy, and I have a DVD player, a lot of people don't these days, this is the one I would lend out because look how compact it is. This is the entire series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Of course, I opened it upside down. So we have seasons 1 through 7. And there's actually even the movie is here. And I also have this. It is like a season 8 motion comic. I don't think I ever watched it. I think I tried, but I didn't like it. Anyway, so there's some like bonus discs and stuff at the end here, but this is Buffy. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if The Office would fit in here with the 9th season, because maybe I could just trade these two. I don't know. I'm always thinking about like reorganizing. I'm always reorganizing my DVD binders. Anyway, okay, so those are the easy ones because those are entire series in cases. And I didn't do any of this on purpose, like, you know, buying the cases specifically to do particular things. It's just I use what I have and I organize my shit into binders in a way that makes sense to me. And I'm perfectly fine with, like, I don't need to have all my DVDs in their original cases lined up on a shelf. Like, it's totally fine to me if they live in binders. Okay, so this one, even though it says movies and TV on it, it's actually just movies. So this is my only movie binder that I have currently. And we're going to get into it. You're going to see a little bit of my dearly departed Xenon's fur on the inside of this. And I am not cleaning it off because I cleaned it out of my house after he left us. But I'm not cleaning it out of this binder because I'm a sentimental bitch. So you will see fur. Okay, so because I'm a librarian, you got to start with the numbered discs. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to see all this stuff. Okay, I need to angle it up, don't I? Because then you'll be able to see it slightly better. What shall I use to angle? Just looking around, looking around. I don't know if I have anything to properly angle this with. I wonder if I do have like a lap desk. I'm wondering if I try to put the lap desk down here. That will angle it a little bit. Forgive the glue and other things. This is another thing that I would have gotten at Target at that same time period. Because, you know, I had to put my life back together, so I bought a lot of things at the same time. Can you see that better? We kind of still need to zoom out a little bit, don't we? Okay. Allow me to readjust the shot a little bit more. Oh, I can't. Okay, this is as far back as I can go without taking the tripod apart. Okay, so this will be good enough. So what I'm thinking I will do is just flip through the binder and like talk about these things, I guess. 10 Things I Hate About You, one of my favorite high school movies from when I was actually in high school. Allison Janney is amazing in it. I very much identified with Kat's character. And you get to see Heath Ledger being cute and young. 200 Cigarettes. This is my New Year's Eve movie. I accidentally have 2 copies of this. And it's like hard to find these days. Like if you looked this up on eBay, people would be trying to sell this for ridiculous prices. I thankfully ended up with my 2 copies before that happened. It's just like, I don't think it's streaming. It's just a scarce movie, but I have loved it for a long time. It's been my New Year's Eve movie that I watch every New Year's Eve for at least 10 years. So this is alphabetical. All of my stuff is alphabetical. So we've got American Psycho, I do love that movie. Army of Darkness, which is hilarious. This is Michael's. I think this is the third in the Evil Dead series. We don't have any of the other ones, but we have Army of Darkness for some reason. Here is Bandits. That is a really good movie if you haven't seen it. Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton, Cate Blanchett. It is really, really fucking funny. It's got a little bit of like a rom-com element to it. Unconventional rom-com element, but mostly it's just funny. It's fucking funny. Barbarella, I just noticed there's a little crack on the inside of this disc. And I don't know if that's going to affect play or not. So I need to test that out. I might have to rebuy Barbarella, which would be fine with me because it's a fucking good movie, and actually having the case and the artwork again would be nice. Beetlejuice holds up. Birdcage. This is a big comfort movie for me. I watch this on repeat if if I need comfort. So worry about me if you know me well enough to know that I'm repeat watching Birdcage over and over again. Breakfast Club. I grew up watching John Hughes movies on VHS tapes taped off of HBO. There were 3 movies to a tape, and my mom didn't let us watch cartoons. Like, we were allowed to watch Sesame Street, which I realize is not a cartoon, but like that was the only like kid thing we were allowed to watch. So I grew up, and like Disney movies. I was allowed to watch some Disney movies, not all. Like Pinocchio and Peter Pan were no-nos. But we were allowed to watch like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. Anyway, point is, as a very young child, I was watching John Hughes movies on repeat. And Breakfast Club is one of those ones that's just like, it's embedded in my brainstem. You know what I mean? Bridesmaids, one of the fucking most hilarious movies of all time. Love it. Bring It On. Yeah, still love it. Haven't seen that one that many times, but every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good movie. One of those movies that, like, at the time it came out, I would have thought that I was too good for it, but I'm not. Cable Guy, this is Michael's movie. I have seen it a couple times, though, and I do like it. Captain Marvel, I don't know how much I have a little bit of a soft spot for this movie, mostly because by the time we finally got a, you know, girl superhero Marvel movie, I was just so happy to finally have it that I don't know if it holds up or not. I've only seen it like a couple times, but I was just happy that it existed when it first came out. Carrie, this is a very important movie in my development. It was the first movie I can ever remember being super obsessed with. I first discovered it in middle school. I checked it out from the library, and I remember for some reason they let me keep rechecking it. I would just call, it was a VHS copy, I would call and renew it like every week, and I had it for like an entire summer, and one by one I showed it to each of my friends. And in retrospect, like, that movie is not for middle schoolers. You know? Of course there were lots of things in the movie that I totally didn't understand. But yeah, Villainous Women, this is where my history with horror villains began. And I will always love this movie for that reason. The Cell, oh my god, have you guys seen this one? I love the concept of it more than anything, but it's also a very beautiful movie. So this is, J-Lo is a psychologist, and she can go into other people's minds. So this is how she helps her patients. Like, people that are, her patients are particularly, she works with children that are catatonic. So she will visit their minds to help them overcome their traumas so that they can wake up, essentially. And just the concept of like what different people's mindscapes look like is just an idea that still fills me with joy. So this is a good one. It's a little bit traumatic because she ends up having to go into, and like the plot of the movie is that she has to go into a serial killer's mind. So not a child, not someone that could possibly come out of their traumas. They're too embedded in them. So it's not something that she wanted to do, but in order to, basically time was running out for his most current victim, and she could possibly get the information needed from his mind. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's a good movie. Horror, but also beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, good movie. I think it came out in 2000. Yep, 2000. See that right there. Clue, I mean, that's a camp classic. No household should be without it. Flames on the side of my face. The Craft, also cult classic. The Crow, also cult classic. This is the cult classic quadrilogy right here in the seas. The Crow. The Crow holds a special place in my heart. It's probably at least on the top 20 for my favorite movies. Dazed and Confused. This one's Michael's. I need to rewatch this one. I don't know if I like it or not. And then Deadpool. I think this one's Michael's too. I don't know. Descent, affectionately known in our household as Chicks in a Cave. This is a truly gruesome and horrifying horror movie. It is so upsetting, but I love it. Die Hard, of course, a classic. Love it. Started watching it. A friend was having a Christmas party and she had a TV VCR set up in the basement with Die Hard. So we started watching it, but it was towards the end of the night and we got tired and left. So I have unfinished business with Die Hard this Christmas season. Might have to finish it sometime soon. Dogma, great Kevin Smith film. I mean, I don't know, does it hold up? I haven't seen it in a while, but I saw it many times in my teens and early 20s. And this copy gets lent out a lot because I guess you can't find it anymore. So we have lent this particular copy to several friends, just like putting it in a case for them and making them swear on all of the gods that they will bring it back. Donnie Darko, might be Michael's. I like it. Yeah. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. That is a classic from my childhood. Love this movie. I would think that this would be the type of movie that drag queens might love. It seems like that type of movie. Doors, that one's Michael's. I think he made me watch it maybe when we first started dating, but I don't really remember it. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Oh my god. So I love a mockumentary. You need to know this about me. Drop Dead Gorgeous is so good. It is so good. It's like a mockumentary about like a beauty pageant, and it's absolutely incredible. Easy A, I need to like watch this again. Maybe I should make a list. I should do that. I should make a list of the ones that I'm saying I need to watch this again and see if I still like it. Let's make that list right now. Movies to rewatch. And hey, I need things to do during my no internet Pisces season. So, do I still like Easy A? Because this is one that, like, I remember really liking it when it came out, which would have been like 2010 or something. Yep, 2010. And I just don't know. Does it still hold up? Dazed and Confused, do I want to watch that again? I guess it doesn't really matter because it's not like I'm going to get rid of it, because it's Michael's. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, another one that I saw and repeat as a child and is embedded in my brainstem forever. Fifth Element, gotta love that. Do not love those double-sided discs, though. God. Ugh, Fools Rush In. I love a romantic comedy with Matthew Perry. And this one is so sweet. Yeah, it's really good. If you haven't seen it, and you like romantic comedies, and you like looking at Matthew Perry's sweet smile. And of course, Salma Hayek, oh my god. One of the most gorgeous humans that has ever existed. And this is 97. My god, all of these so far that I've, like, guessed the date, it's actually right. Ghost World is... This is a movie about people graduating high school and not knowing, like, what is next for their lives, their identities. It's baby Scarlett Johansson and Thora Birch, and it came out the year I graduated high school. So, and I was very much this Thora Birch character, like, too good for everything. You know, just almost performatively weird, although I really wasn't performing anything. But, you know, it was very important to me that people knew I was weird, because I wanted people to reject me before even trying to talk to me. You know, I didn't want people to reject me later, after they get to know me, you know? But anyway, I just highly identify with mainly the Thora Birch's character at that time. Like, she seems like such an asshole now watching it, but anyway, this is nostalgic for me because it's one of those things that came out at the exact right time for me. And it's got a great soundtrack. Yeah, I think it holds up. I mean, what do I know? Because I've been watching it since 2001. So, it came out, I probably saw it in the theaters, honestly. This one's Michael's. I don't know if I've ever seen it, so I'm going to write this one down to see if I should see it. This one's also Michael's, Hudson Hawk. This was like a childhood favorite for him. Huntsman, Winter's War. This is the second in that, like, Snow White series that Charlize Theron is in. And I think it was on the sale shelf at the library or something, and I really like the costume design for Charlize Theron's character. I don't know if the movie is good. Okay, that's another one I'll write down. Do I still like Huntsman, Winter's War? Probably, like, I wish I had the first one instead of the second one, but whatever. But the costume design for Charlize Theron's character includes a lot of bird skulls, and yeah, she's the evil queen, and I do love me an evil queen. I Feel Pretty is just a sweet rom-com with Amy Schumer. God, I wonder if this holds up. I'm gonna write that one down too. Like, I need to rewatch that. I just remember thinking it was sweet. I Love You, Man, that's another one. I Love You. I need to actually show this one to my mom because she now likes, what's his name? Who's in this? Besides Paul Rudd. What's that guy's name? Totally blanking on his name. But she watches that show Shrinking, and so she likes him, so I think she would like this. Anyway, something I can make her watch. Interview with the Vampire. Classic vampire movie. It is great. Very well done. Would watch it any day over that Nosferatu bullshit that's in theaters right now. Michael really likes Quentin Tarantino, so you're going to see a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies in my physical media series. I'm sure he made me watch this at some point, Jackie Brown, but I don't remember it. This says disc 1, but I don't think there's a disc 2. Jawbreaker is a high school classic from when I was in high school. 98. It's just campy and so good. I love those like early 2000s / late 90s high school movies. I really do. And it's because I was in high school at the time. Joe versus the Volcano is another one from my childhood that I'm sure was taped onto a VHS tape, and I watched it over and over again. So, you know, those ones from those formative years, like anything that I saw prior and maybe up to the age of 23, up to the point where my frontal lobe fully developed, anything before that time that I loved then, I will love forever. Pretty much. Josie and the Pussycats, this one fucking holds up. If you were ever curious about it, it is campy and so good, actually. So good. Juno, you know what? It kind of bothers me to look at Kill Bill not right on top, so I'm going to rebel against the alphabet for a little, just a tiny bit, just so I can have them like that. This is one of the only Quentin Tarantino movies that I do enjoy watching, is Kill Bill. I think, I don't know, would I still like it? I don't know. Juno, still love. It's just funny and cute. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is, it's another one like, it's a similar vibe to Die Hard, in fact. I think it's the same screenwriter as Die Hard. I might be wrong about that, but it is another witty action movie. This one has Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer. So this is a good, like, not Halloween movie, but it's set, or sorry, not Christmas movie, but it's set at Christmas time. That's the kind of Christmas movie I typically enjoy, is like one that's just set at Christmas time. This is a good one if you haven't ever seen it and you were looking for something like that, which of course you're not right now because it's fucking January. Anyway. What is this? Legally Blonde. Yeah. Flawless. Beautiful movie. This one's Michael's Life Aquatic. I have zero interest in Wes Anderson. Come at me. Legend. This is one of the only, like, I've discovered that, like, for some reason I don't love fantasy movies, which is weird. You'd think I would. I think I would. But I kind of don't. But Legend is an exception to that. I fucking love it. This one is Ultimate Edition. It has like the director's cut and the theatrical version. I prefer this theatrical version because the score is much cheesier. And that's the version I grew up with. So it's a good one. Lilo and Stitch is, I think it's fair to say it's my favorite Disney movie of all time. I identify with Stitch. I'm not a Disney adult, but I identify with Stitch as a character. And Michael does a great Stitch impression. Now we're in the like Disney category accidentally. Little Mermaid is the Disney movie from my childhood that I replayed the most, so I can still sometimes tolerate seeing it again. This is Little Miss Sunshine. Holds up. Is a complicated, sort of upsetting indie movie from, I don't even know. Does it have a date on here? 2006. Maleficent. This is the one that, like, has Angelina Jolie. God, I remember just being so happy about the ending because it wasn't a typical ending at the time. It wasn't a typical fairy tale ending at the time that this came out. That I was just so happy I bought it when it came out because it was like $5 at Target or something. But I do need to kind of like rewatch that. Like, is it actually good? Probably not. So I want to give this one another try because I would not be against getting rid of it if I didn't really like it anymore. Mannequin. You guys, Mannequin, 1987. I would categorize this as a vaporwave movie, as kind of ASMR. It's vibes. This movie is vibes. I love it so intensely. Just this, like, setting of the mall after close in the 80s. I don't know. I'm just into it. Here is my... I also have multiple copies of The Matrix accidentally. I think because a box set came out that was very affordable and I couldn't resist for some reason. I think what it is... Oh, you know what it is. This is the DVD version and I also have a Blu-ray version. But anyway, this is Animatrix, first movie, second movie, third movie. So I do have 2 copies of The Matrix, but it is one of my top 5 movies. So that's fine with me. Marie Antoinette. It's so good. It's so good. I still haven't read the biography that this movie was based on, adapted from. I still need to do that. Mean Girls, that is another one that, like, I thought I liked it, but I don't know if I like it. I'm writing it down as another one to watch with the intent of, like, finding out, do I really like it? The System Miss Congeniality and Miss Congeniality 2, you don't need to watch that one. But this one is damn good. I love Sandy B. I really do. Money Pit is another one from my childhood. There's just a lot of Tom Hanks movies from my childhood that, like, yeah. And this one is, I mean, it was just a legend in my household, this movie. So, yeah, I have to have it. Is it a good movie? Maybe not. Like, people don't really talk about the Money Pit, but it does say Steven Spielberg. So, you know what you're getting with him. He knows how to make good films for the most part, even though they're, kind of basic. Moulin Rouge, this one came out just as I was graduating high school. Like, literally, like, within a month of me graduating from high school, this one was in theaters. I saw it a bunch of times in theaters. I was obsessed with it. I don't love it anymore, but because, it's from that time period, I'm gonna keep it around. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist is just a cute sort of rom-com thing. Ari Grainer's performance in this movie is incredible. Incredible. I mean, I like her too. What the fuck's her name? I don't know. But Ari Grainer plays, like, her best friend who's, like, drunk and hilarious the entire movie. So, pretty sure I could still get down with this, but I haven't rewatched it in a while. Office Space is just, I don't know. It's one of those stoner movies that I've seen a gazillion times. Only Lovers Left Alive. This one is Tilda Swinton and what's-his-face that plays Loki. It's very good. And they're like vampires. Pitch Black. This one's Michael's. Planet of the Apes. That one's Michael's. Practical Magic and Witches of Eastwick. That's mine. Love them both. Princess Bride. This is one I cannot with Princess Bride anymore. But I still have it for some reason. Probably because Michael won't let me get rid of it. Like, the last time I watched it, I was just mad at it. Even though this is, like, one of those movies from my childhood that I should just love forever, it bothers me now. I don't know. Feminism. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. That is, camp classic. So good. So genuinely good. I should say the actual entire title, right? The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Queen of the Damned, sequel to Interview with the Vampire. This movie, I think people like to hate it, but it is fucking good. Okay? If you can get past the nu metal, and if I can, I think anyone can. Because Aaliyah's performance as Akasha, and she died like before this movie even fucking came out. So she never got to see how fucking amazing she was in this movie. She didn't get her flowers, as the kids say, but she is an icon, and I fucking love that movie for all of its flaws. Just in spite of all of its flaws, because of all of its flaws. I don't care. I love it. Like, Michael's, like, the other day, he was like, okay, if we were to do, like, a Queen of the Damned series or something, who would be cast? And I'm just like, no, stop. No one can be Akasha except Aaliyah. No one. That scene when she comes into the bar and she like belly dances up to that guy and reaches into his chest and grabs his heart and then crumbles it in between her fingertips until it's like dust falling through her hands. I mean, that scene is who I am in a nutshell. It says something about who I am as a person. Even though the soundtrack is nu metal. But you know, whatever. Resident Evil, this is Michael's. This is the first, second, and third movie. I love the first movie. I don't remember the second or third movies, but they like came in a set or something. The Ring is one of my favorite horror movies. And yeah, I would assume that it would hold up, but I haven't rewatched it in a while. Rocky Horror. I have a complicated relationship with Rocky Horror. Like, I don't know if I love it. But it's one of those things that when you're a weirdo, you love Rocky Horror at some point in your life, right? You just do. Romeo and Juliet, that one is Michael's. He loves that movie. He absolutely loves it. School of Rock, that's another one. I think I saw it like once and I was pleasantly surprised by it, and then I bought it like immediately. So I need to rewatch that. Shaun of the Dead, this is one that like I have seen a bunch of times. I don't think I care about it anymore. And I don't even need to rewatch it. I mean, it's one that like I bet Michael would want to watch again, so I'll keep it. Skeleton Key is another one that like a friend had suggested it to me and I watched it and I was really pleasantly surprised by it and bought it immediately, and I don't think I ever watched it again. I think I've only seen it once. So that's another one I need to write down as like, because sometimes when you first watch a movie and you like it, you think, oh my god, yes, I need to own that. But maybe you don't necessarily ever. Like, how long ago was that I bought this movie? I mean, it's in the binder. So, I don't think I haven't had it since before 2011, have I? It did come out in 2005. Sleeping Beauty, that is one of the only Disney movies I can still stomach. I mean, Lilo and Stitch is my number 1, Sleeping Beauty would be my number 2, and Little Mermaid is my number 3, but that is like end of list with Disney movies, I think, as far as I can remember right now. Sliding Doors is just a great rom-com. Just, you know, pretend you don't know anything about Gwyneth Paltrow the person and you can enjoy her performance in this movie. It's a very good movie. I love the guy in it. I don't know what his name is, but he's my favorite kind of dude in a rom-com. He does that perfectly. I don't even know his name. Star Trek, this is the movie, the first movie from the, I think of it as like the current movies. I don't like it at all, but this is Michael's. Superbad, that's another one I need to rewatch because I saw it a ton of times when it came out and I was super into it. I tend to really enjoy Michael Cera. I don't know if I would still like it though. So I need to give it another try and see how I feel about it. That's definitely on the list. Three to Tango. This is another Matthew Perry rom-com. Also Neve Campbell in this one and Oliver Platt. This is a really good rom-com. I have seen it 1,000 times. I would say it's probably one of my top 5. Tin Man, that's another one. That is a mini-series. Mini-series about Wizard of Oz that has Zooey Deschanel. So I need to... That was one of those things that I saw. I think I had to buy it to watch it for some reason. I really wanted to see it at the time. And I liked it well enough that I kept it. But I never watched it again. To Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. This is another, like, kind of camp classic, but it was really a major motion picture. You know, this was, like, family-friendly drag before RuPaul's Drag Race. You know? If you haven't seen it, I mean, this is the kind of drag movie you can watch with your grandma, and it's good. Like, I'm not saying that against it. Like, it's a good movie, but it's very tame drag. It's not necessarily representative of what drag really is, but it's cute, and the performances are good, and it's a sweet little feel-good drag movie from, what is this from? It says 2002 on the disc, but that's incorrect. This is probably from like 94, 95, somewhere around there. Truth About Cats and Dogs, another great rom-com. I love a rom-com. Velvet Goldmine, that's one I definitely need to rewatch. Okay, so I was obsessed with Velvet Goldmine when I was a teenager because I was like in love with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers from this movie because he was basically playing like a David Bowie character. And it was my introduction to like glam rock. Like, I wasn't listening to Roxy music before I watched this movie. So I don't think I would ever get rid of it because it was just, it was just a big deal to me at a certain point in my life. And this represents that moment in my life when I discovered Roxy music and Brian Eno and like, you know, I was just so into like all of it. But I haven't rewatched it in a very long time. Virgin Suicides, another Sofia Coppola. I tend to enjoy like the early Sofia Coppola movies. I think the only ones I own are Virgin Suicides and Marie Antoinette. Whip It is, you know, cute roller derby movie. Yeah, it's good. It's a good time. Wonder Woman, that's another one that, like, I think I was just so happy. I remember crying in the theater when I saw Wonder Woman. Because finally we were getting a female superhero major motion picture. I was just so grateful that it was finally happening. But is there a reason for me to own the movie? Maybe not, but it's here. It's not taking up much space. I don't think I've seen it since buying it, honestly. You've Got Mail, oh my god. Like, this is possibly the most guilty pleasure movie that I own because it just, I mean, not that I actually feel guilty about loving it, but it's just like one of the most basic rom-coms, right? But I fucking love it. I love it unapologetically. And I like the movie it's based on too, which was called Shop Around the Corner. older movie. I don't know when that one came out, maybe the 50s. And I watched it once because I knew that this movie was kind of based on it. And I enjoyed it. I haven't seen a lot of older movies, though. Like, the oldest movies I see are, like, from the 70s, or 70s maybe, but 80s mostly. Young Frankenstein, another camp classic. This one was very quoted in my household growing up. And in fact, most of our, like, sound bites associated with the family computer were from this movie. I don't know how we had, but like when the computer would boot up, it would be Gene Wilder going, "It could work." So I am nostalgic for this movie. It's just a good time. Is this like a Mel Brooks movie? I don't know. Probably. Yeah. Anyway. This will be more fun when I have the cases, when we do DVDs case edition, when I can like look at the cases for descriptions. This is another Kevin Smith movie. Zach and Miri make a porno. I don't know why. Like at one point they dropped the make a porno part, so now it just says Zach and Miri. I remember that one being good. It's like Seth Rogen and... oh God, what's her name? What's her name? Damn it, I'm not gonna think of it right now, but she's amazing. And she, like, directs a lot of movies now. But, yeah, it's just a cute little rom-com, really. But, you know, a Kevin Smith rom-com. And I grew up watching a lot of Kevin Smith movies, so I still have a soft spot for most of them. Okay, so that was just the movie binder. The TV show binders are going to go much faster, though. Because, you know, if I have an entire TV show, it's going to take up, like, there's a TV show in this first binder I'm going to show you. First TV show binder I'm going to show you. That takes up, like, half the fucking binder. And it's actually kind of embarrassing which one it is. Okay, ready for TV shows? No, it actually starts with Lava Bubbles. Endless motion TV light lamp. This is just like a screensaver, basically. I've put this on at parties. You get to choose which color lava bubbles, and you just play it, and it's a good time. I didn't know where else to put it. I didn't have the case anymore. I was like, okay, it's going in the TV show binder. This is Michael's. It is Best of Third Rock, so it's just one disc, so it probably has like, I don't know, 5 or 10 episodes on it or something. I have seasons 1 and 2 of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I do enjoy this show. I do enjoy it. It is absolutely absurd. And Volume 3 too. So I have 3 seasons of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. This is Michael's Battlestar Galactica. We are currently going through it. I have never seen it. And this is the entire series. It is actually really good, you guys. If you like Star Trek Next Generation, and you just haven't, and you don't feel like rewatching it right now, but you want like a sci-fi show that has like the same kind of heart that era of Star Trek had, I would recommend. So he has like the complete box set of like everything. This disc is missing because it's currently in the DVD player. We just started season 4, which is the last season. And I'm really liking it, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised by it. I have a couple of seasons of Beavis and Butthead, the Mike Judge collection. I do have a little bit of a soft spot for Beavis and Butthead. I'm not a completionist or anything, because I have Volume 2, Disc 3, Volume 3, Disc 1, So I have all of Volume 3, but only 1 disc from Volume 2. So I wonder if the other one was like in the DVD player when the tornado hit or something, and that's why I don't have... I don't know. Doesn't matter. I have 4 Beavis and Butthead discs, and I don't really rewatch it, but I have it. I know there's going to come a time when I'm like, man, I want some Beavis and Butthead right now, and I'll have some. Okay, so this is the embarrassing thing. I have the first, like, 8 seasons. 6, 7, 8. Yep, the first 8 seasons of Bones. This is another comfort show for me. I do think, like, the first 2 seasons were genuinely pretty good. And there's some really hot people in this show. And it's just comforting, procedural. I did rewatch it somewhat recently. Like, I went through, like, almost... There are 12 seasons of this fucking show. And I only have this many. But that takes up, like, a third of this fucking binder is Bones. So, I'm such a basic bitch. I mean, I am. I just need to admit it. It's fine. Daria is just one of those, like, shows, you know? It's like the cartoon version of Ghost World, you know? It's just a good... It does actually hold up for the most part. And I have the complete series, which only takes up 8 discs. I have all 3 are there 3? Yes, all 3 seasons of Dollhouse, which is a Joss Whedon show that is pretty decent. I mean, it's problematic for sure, but all of his shit is. Speaking of Firefly, this is the entire series right here. Haven't rewatched this in a while, and there's definitely some problematic aspects of Firefly, but it's a pretty tight 1 season, and then it got canceled, and it's still good. Freaks and Geeks, this is one, I need to write this one down. Because Michael wants to rewatch it. I'm not sure I would still like it. And it's another, like, one and done, 1 season. That's it. Glow is, rivaling Buffy as my favorite show of all time. I just recently was able to finally acquire the 3rd season, which took me a long time to get a hold of because this series was never put onto commercial DVD. Like, these are actually screeners for your consideration. So I'm not technically supposed to have these since I'm not, like, you know, part of the Screen Actors Guild or whatever, but I will cherish them. So, don't turn me in. Mighty Boosh is Noel Fielding. It's, I bet there's a lot that doesn't hold up in this series. But, yeah. I still, it's just delightfully strange, and I've had a crush on Noel Fielding for a very long time. So, I have the entirety of Mighty Boosh. And then the last thing in this binder is the full series of Orphan Black, which I think is 5 seasons. Yes. Orphan Black is a very good series. I just recently rewatched this too. And I wouldn't say, like, the plots don't necessarily super hold up, but Tatiana Maslany playing all these different characters is just a sight to behold. And this was one where, like, I really wanted to watch the show, but the only way I could see it was by buying the DVDs, because at the time I didn't have access to whatever channel it was on. So I bought the DVDs in order to watch them, and so, I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite shows, but it is pretty decent. I would recommend, if you haven't seen it and you were ever interested, I would recommend. Okay, TV binder number 2, and then we'll be done with this video. Because I showed you the Buffy binder, the Office binder, the movie binder, TV volume 1, which is A through O, and then TV volume 2, which is P through Z, and there's also documentaries in here, I think, in the back. I just reorganized it the other day. So this one starts with Michael, for my birthday this last year, bought me the entirety of Parks and Rec, and it was in one of those really annoying, like, the case was compact, but the way to access the discs inside the case was just so fucking obnoxious that I just threw the case away immediately and put these discs in a binder. So I've got the entirety of Parks and Rec, and this is definitely a series that I need to rewatch because I haven't seen it in a long time. But I'm assuming, like, I really enjoy those, like, workplace comedy mockumentary type shows like The Office, like Parks and Rec, like IT Crowd, although that one isn't a mockumentary style, but I just like workplace comedy shows. So I'm excited to try this one again. I do think I will still like it. Sharp Objects, this was like a limited, it was like a mini series based on the book by Gillian Flynn, which, starring Amy Adams. Very good, very, very dark and depressing. And then the majority of this binder is Star Trek. So we have Star Trek Original Series. I have the first and second seasons. I didn't like the third season. I've only seen the original series once, all the way through. And I had to buy it to watch it, so I still have it. But, I mean, it's campy. I'm sure I'll watch it again at some point. Michael has more nostalgia for the original series than I do. And then there's Next Generation, which I have seen all the way through several times. Maybe not several, but so I have the entirety of Star Trek Next Generation in here, which is like, I don't know, 7 seasons, something like that. Yep, 7 seasons. And then I have the entirety of Veronica Mars, which was 3 seasons. I was a latecomer to Veronica Mars. I didn't watch it until maybe 10 years ago. And I do enjoy it. I think it makes an interesting soul sister to Buffy, even though it's like a totally different universe. But, I mean, aspects of it do not hold up, but aspects of it do. So, I do enjoy Veronica Mars. Oh my god. Why Women Kill, Season 1. I didn't watch any seasons beyond that. I don't know how many there have been. Excuse me. But Why Women Kill, Season 1. Whatever streaming service it was on, or maybe still is on, I watched it all the way through, like, 4 times. I was just obsessed with it. So as soon as I found out I could get it on DVD, like, it had to happen. It's so fucking good. And it's a complete storyline just in one season. Like, the particular storyline that was explored in the first season doesn't continue to the second. It's like different people in the second season, different stories. So it's 3 different storylines from 3 different time periods. One from the 60s, one from the 80s, and one from now, which at the time would have been like, I don't know, it says 2020 on here. So yeah, not that old. Lucy Liu is in the 80s timeline. I can't remember anyone else's name in the series, but this is campy, this is drama, and like there's some moments where like the monologues that, particularly Lucy Liu, the monologues that she goes on just remind you almost of Julia Sugarbaker in Designing Women. Yeah, it's a good time. I think it's on Paramount Plus. Yeah, it says Paramount and CBS on here, so that's probably the streaming service that it's on, if it's still on a streaming service. So I would highly recommend, and it's just 1 season. You know, it fits on 3 discs. So you could binge watch this in a snow weekend. And it would be great. So this is where the documentaries start. The only documentaries I even have are Planet Earth and Life, 2 BBC Earth series narrated by David Attenborough. And then there's some music stuff in here. I've got there's like tornado schmutz on that disc, but this is music videos of Tori Amos, these 2 discs. This is a live Tori album called like Sunny Florida or something. I haven't rewatched it in a long time, but my mom and I are in it. I think it's just like a still where you see us for a second, but that was my reason for keeping it, because, you know, it's technically a document of all the times I saw Tori Amos live. I actually showed up in a live DVD of, yeah. I'm in there somewhere. I haven't rewatched it in a very long time. This is Beck Information, the Information DVDs, or videos. This is Garbage music videos. This is Incubus. That's Michael's. I have 2 live DVDs of Shakira. She puts on a fucking fantastic show. I've never seen her live, except on these DVDs. But she is one of those pop stars that, like, she has presence. She puts on a goddamn show, like Janet Jackson, like I'm sure Beyonce does, like I'm sure Taylor Swift does. So I remember really enjoying her live performances. So I have them. I don't have like live performances of a lot of people, but I have Shakira. And then I've got space for 2 more in the back. I kind of want to acquire the Portishead live Roseland, New York City live, whatever. I kind of want to get that. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than I would like on eBay. Like I'd have to pay like $25 plus shipping or something for it, which isn't bad. So that could end up here. I also have, I mean, you'll see that in the Cases edition, but I have a couple of MTV Unplugged on DVD. So there you go. That's Physical Media Collection, Volume 1, DVDs, The Binders. Thank you for watching.